Well, it is Passover, or the beginning of Passover, at sunset tonight, I believe. It's also a wonderful full moon out there. And I know I've been reading from the comments from the Equinox of the Gods, the comments on the chapters 1 and 2 of the Book of the Law, or at least a little analysis of what Crowley's thoughts were on certain portions of the Book of the Law back in 1936. And today we'd be coming up on the third chapter, and but I'm going to postpone that until tomorrow because today is Passover, and I've got a special sort of thing I want to do today. I'm showing you the Chariot card from the 12th Tarot. And now, why am I showing you this? Well, it might have something to do with that blood that is in that cup there, that the charioteer is carrying. And the Chariot card of the tarot, at least in many Hermetic Kabbalistic circles, is, let's see there, is this path right here that goes from number 5, and it crosses the abyss and goes to number 3. So it's like a shortcut across the abyss. Now, there is no path between 4 and 3. That is really the abyss crossing. But as you probably already know, to get from one Sephiroth or level of consciousness to another, you bring everything else up with you by various paths simultaneously. So I'm going to talk about, well, actually, I'm going to read from the 12th Enochian Aethyr, which is pretty damn high on the level of consciousness that we're dealing with. And it does deal with the Master of the Temple and the Magus levels, or heavens, if you will. So it's pretty high up. But why am I doing that? Why am I talking about the Chariot card and things like that for Passover? Well, it's because of the vision that Crowley received of the 12th Aethyr. He was going systematically from 30, 29, 28, 27, okay. And he's gotten to the 12th Aethyr, which doesn't have direct correspondence with the Tree of Life, but they do intertwine. It's like trying to, in a sense, compare apples to oranges, or well, the Sephiroth of the Tree of Life way of dividing the universe of consciousness from your head to Godhead is different, and only sort of synchronizes in certain places. But when we look at the beautiful images of the Thoth Tarot, which are a graphic illustration of the thelemic formula of the new aeon compared to the classic images of the tarot, which are based on the formula of the previous aeon. All of this is theoretical, of course. many of the images of the Thoth Tarot are derived from the images that were received during these visions back in 1909 when Crowley was marching across the Sahara with Victor Newberg. And so the 12th Aethyr deals with this guy's message. And this guy, if you want to look at it in Tree of Life terms, crosses the abyss. He's the delivery boy of the Holy Grail to Our Lady Babylon in number 3, or Bina. So I'm going to share with you this because there is a special Passover message in the 12th vision of the 12th Aethyr. The cry of the 12th Aethyr, which is called Loe, that's L-O-E. There appear in the stone, that's a scrying stone, that's a large topaz that it's faceted and attached to a wooden cross. And Crowley would, after doing the call and all of his preliminary consciousness expanding techniques, he would hold that topaz to his forehead and receive the vision. There appear in the stone 2 pillars of flame, and in the midst is a chariot of white fire. Now, before I go on too far, I'm going to just check that my sound is... Yes, I think my sound is up. I apologize for the interruption. There appear in the stone 2 pillars of flame, and in the midst is a chariot of white fire. This seems to be the chariot of the 7th key of the tarot, but it is drawn by 4 sphinxes, diverse like 4 sphinxes upon the door of the vault of the adepts, countercharged in their component parts. So look at the feet and the head and the wings and the body, and you can see how they're all countercharged in their various parts. The chariot itself is a lunar crescent waning. Now, I'm showing you the Tarot of Ceremonial Magic because I've used certain of these descriptions in our cards. The canopy is supported by 8 pillars of amber. There they are. There's 8 there. These pillars are upright, and yet the canopy which they support is the vault of the whole night. And in Crowley's, you could only see 4 of those amber pillars, but there's the vault of the whole night. The charioteer is a man in golden armor studded with sapphires, but over his shoulder is a white robe, and over that a red robe. Now, we can't actually see much of that except right by the collar there, but this is how I treated it. Upon his helmet he beareth for a crest a crab, because this is the Chet and Cancer. His hands are clasped upon a cup from which radiate a ruddy glow, constantly increasing, so that everything is blotted out by its glory. And the whole aether is filled with it. And there is a marvelous perfume in the air, like unto the perfume of Rahur Kuit, but sublimated, as if the quintessence of that perfume alone were burnt. For it hath the richness and the voluptuousness and the humanity of blood, and the strength and freshness of meal, and the sweetness of honey, and the purity of olive oil, and the holiness of the oil which is made of myrrh and cinnamon and galangal. Now that is the oil. That's the recipe for the oil of a bromelain. Don't get it in your eyes. The charioteer speaks in a low, solemn voice, awe-inspiring, like a very large and distant bell. Let him look upon the cup whose blood is mingled therein. For the wine of the cup is the blood of the saints. Glory unto the scarlet woman Babylon, the mother of abominations that rideth upon the beast. For she hath spilt their blood in every corner of the earth, and lo, she has mingled it in the cup of her whoredom. With the breath of her kisses she has fermented it, and it hath become the wine of the sacrament, and the wine of the Sabbath. And in the holy assembly has she poured it out for her worshippers, and they have become drunken thereon, so that face to face they have beheld my Father. Now, if you want to keep Kabbalistically looking at this, she's there talking in number 3. The face of the Father is there in number 2 on the tree of life. Thus are they made worthy to become partakers of the mystery of this holy vessel, for the blood is the life. So sitteth she age to age, and the righteous are never weary of her kisses. And by her murders and fornications she seduceth the world. Therein is manifest the glory of my Father, who is truth. This wine is such that its virtue radiateth through the cup, and I reel under the intoxication of it, and every thought is destroyed by it. It abideth alone, and its name is compassion. And I understand that by compassion, the sacrament of suffering, partaken of by the true worshippers of the highest, and it is an ecstasy in which there is no trace of pain. Its passivity equals passion, is like the giving up of the self to the beloved. The voice continues, This is the mystery of Babylon, the mother of abominations. And this is the mystery of her adulteries, for she hath yielded up herself to everything that liveth, and she has become a partaker in its mystery. And because she has made herself the servant of each, therefore she has become the mistress of all. Not as yet canst thou comprehend her glory. Beautiful art thou, O Babylon, and desirable, for thou hast given thyself to everything that liveth, and thy weakness hath subdued their strength. For in that union thou didst understand. Now, understanding is Binah, number 3, across the abyss. Therefore thou art called understanding, O Babylon, Lady of the Night. This is that which is written, quote, O my God, in one last rapture let me attain to the union with the many. For she is love, and her love is one, and she hath divided the one love into infinite loves, and each love is one, and equal with the one. And therefore she is passed from the assembly and the law and the enlightenment unto the anarchy of solitude and darkness. For ever thus must she veil the brilliance of herself. O Babylon, Babylon, thou mighty mother that rideth upon the crowned beast, let me be drunken upon the wine of thy fornications. Let thy kisses wanton me unto death, that even I, thy cupbearer, may understand. Now, through the ruddy glow of the cup, I may perceive far above and infinitely great the vision of Babylon. And the beast whereon she rideth is the Lord of the city of the pyramids, that I beheld in the 14th Aethyr. Now that is gone in the glow of the cup. And the angel saith, Not as yet mayest thou understand the mystery of the beast, for it pertaineth not unto the mystery of this air. Mystery of the beast being the mystery of Hokmah number 2. And we're still talking about this kind of path here. For it pertains not to the mystery of this air. And few that are newborn to understanding are capable thereof. The cup glows ever brighter and fierier. All my sense is unsteady, being smitten with ecstasy. And the angel saith, Blessed are the saints, that their blood is mingled in the cup, and can never be separate any more. For Babylon, the beautiful, the mother of abominations, has sworn by her holy Catis, whereof every point is a pang, that she will not rest from her adulteries until the blood of everything that liveth is gathered therein, and the wine thereof laid up and matured and consecrated, and worthy to gladden the heart of my father. Father in number 2. For my father is weary with the stress of eld, and cometh not to her bed. Yet shall this perfect wine be the quintessence and the elixir, and by the draught thereof shall he renew his youth. And so shall it be eternally, as age by age the worlds do dissolve and change, and the universe unfoldeth itself as a rose, and shutteth itself up as a cross that is bent into the cube. And this is the mystery of Pan that is played out in the thick forest. And this is the mystery of Dionysus Zagreus that is celebrated on the holy mountain Cytherion. And this is the secret of the brothers of the rosy cross. And this is the heart of the ritual that is accomplished in the vault of the adepts, that is hidden in the mountain of the caverns, even the holy mountain Abiegnius. And this is the meaning of the supper of the Passover. The spilling of the blood of the Lamb being a ritual of the dark brothers, for they have sealed up the pylon with blood, lest the angel of death should enter therein. Thus do they shut themselves off from the company of saints. Thus do they keep themselves from compassion and from understanding. Accursed are they, for they shut up their blood in their heart. They keep themselves from the kisses of my mother Babylon, and in their lonely fortresses they pray to the false moon, and they bind themselves together with an oath, with a great curse. And of their malice they conspire together, and they have power and mastery, and in their cauldrons do they brew the harsh wine of delusion, mingled with the poison of their selfishness. Thus they make war upon the Holy One, sending forth their delusion upon men and upon everything that liveth, so that their false compassion is called compassion, and their false understanding is called understanding. For this is their most potent spell. Yet of their own poison do they perish, and in their lonely fortresses they shall be eaten up by time that hath cheated them to serve him, and by the mighty devil Coronzon, their master, whose name is the second death. For the blood that they have sprinkled on their pylon, that is a bar against the angel of death, is the key by which he entereth in. And the angel saith, and this is the word of double power in the voice of the Master, wherein the 5 interpenetrateth the 6. This is the secret interpretation that may not be understood, save only by them that understand. And for this it is the key of the pylon of power, because there is no power that may endure, save only by the power that descendeth in this my chariot from Babylon, the city of the 50 gates, the gate of the god On. Now, he spells it out in Hebrew. Bet Aleph, Lamed, Oyin, Nun. Gate, Bab. All, God. On. Gate, God, on. Bab, Al, on. Moreover is On the key of the vault that is 120. So also do the majesty and beauty derive from the supernal wisdom. Look up the letters on the tree of life leading to Tifereth. Okay. But this is the mystery utterly beyond thine understanding. For wisdom is the man, and understanding the woman. And not until thou hast perfectly understood canst thou begin to be wise. But I reveal unto thee a mystery of the Aethers, that not only are they bound up with the Sephiroth, but also with the paths. Now the plane of the Aethers interpenetrateth and surroundeth the universe wherein the Sephiroth are established, and therefore is the order of the Aethers not the order of the tree of life, and only in a few places do they coincide. But the knowledge of the Aethers is deeper than the knowledge of the Sephiroth, for that in the Aethers is the knowledge of the Aeons and of Thelema, and to each shall it be given according to his capacity. He hath been saying certain secret things to the unconscious mind of the seer of a personal nature. Okay, he slips into a more private message from the angel. Now a voice comes from without, and lo, I saw you to the end. And a great bell begins to toll, and there come 6 little children out of the floor of the chariot, and in their hands is a veil, so fine and transparent that it's hardly visible. Yet when they put it over the cup, the angel, bowing his head reverently, the light of the cup goes out entirely. And as the light of the cup vanishes, it is like a swift sunset in the whole air. For it was from the light of that cup alone that it was lighted. And now the light is all gone out of the stone, and I'm very cold. Because it was out on the desert on December 4th and 5th, 1909, between 11:30 p.m. and 1:20 a.m. And that's our Passover message from the 12th Aethyr Loe. Tomorrow we'll finish up Crowley's few little comments on the 3rd chapter of the Book of the Law as Thelemic Holy Week continues. Until tomorrow, continue to be good to yourself, be good to each other. Do what thou wilt shall be the whole of the law. Love is the law, love under will.